The rain hadn't stopped all day. I pulled my collar up, trying to keep dry, when I spotted the cream-colored envelope inside my mailbox. Thick paper, expensive print. My name on the front. I tore it open under the dim porch light. The words burned into me. Together with their families, Amelia Rose and Oliver Grant, request the honor of your presence. I let the card slip in my hand. My chest tightened. Amelia, after 2 years of silence, this was how she reached me. A knock echoed. On my door, sharp, urgent, I froze. Another knock louder. I swung the door open. My breath caught. Amelia. She stood there, soaked, her red dress plastered to her skin, mascara streaked across her cheeks. Her eyes, swollen and desperate, locked on mine. Can I come in? Her voice cracked. I stepped aside. Get inside. Before you catch pneumonia, she walked past me, dripping water onto my floor. She clutched her small purse like it was the only thing holding her together. I shut the door, leaned against it, and stared. Why are you here? She turned, hugging herself. I didn't know where else to go. I laughed bitterly. Strange. I knew where to send the wedding invitation. Her lips trembled. Please don't start like that. How else am I supposed to start? You vanish for years. You're about to marry someone else. And tonight, you knock on my door in the middle of a storm. What am I supposed to think? She dropped her purse onto the couch and whispered, I couldn't face him. I crossed my arms. Oliver. She nodded slowly. We had the rehearsal dinner. Everyone smiled. Everyone pretended everything was perfect. I felt like I was suffocating. That's what weddings are, Amelia. Smiles, pretending. You chose that? Her eyes filled again. Don't talk to me like I haven't paid for my choices. I bit my tongue, but the sting of her words hung between us. She took a shaky step closer. I thought I could handle it. I thought marrying him would erase everything about you. But tonight, when they toasted us, I felt sick. All I could think about was you. My throat tightened. Don't say that. It's the truth, she whispered. I turned away, pacing toward the window. The rain pounded harder. You don't get to come here and stir everything up because you're scared. To marry him? I'm not scared of him, she said. I'm scared of living a life where I can't breathe. I faced her again. Her dress clung to her body, her shoulders trembling. She looked both fragile and defiant. Amelia, I said carefully, you're engaged. Tomorrow you'll wake up and regret every word you've said tonight. She shook her head. You think I'd come here if this was just nerves? I left the dinner. I walked out on my family, on him, on everything, and I ended up here. Her voice broke on the last word. Why me? Eyes. Her eyes burned into mine. Because you're the only person who ever made me feel like I was enough. The silence that followed was suffocating. My pulse thundered. I stepped closer without meaning to. You can't say that to me, not when you're marrying someone else in less than a week. I don't care about the week, she whispered. I care about right now. Her hand brushed against my arm. It was electric, too familiar. I pulled back. Don't. Tears streamed down her face. Do you hate me that much? I clenched my fists. I don't hate you. That's the problem. If I hated you, none of this would hurt. She closed her eyes, swallowing hard. I shouldn't have come. I stared at her, torn between rage and longing. Then why did you? She lifted her head, meeting my gaze. 'Cause I needed to know if you'd still open the door. The words hit me like a blow. I exhaled sharply, running a hand through my hair. Amelia, you're playing with fire. Her lips quivered into the faintest smile. I've been burning for years. We stood only a step apart now, the storm raging outside, our silence heavier than any words. I whispered, What happens if Oliver finds out you're here? Her voice was soft but steady. He won't. He never pays attention to where I go. That's not the point. Then what is? That I'll be the one left destroyed when you walk away again. Her eyes glistened. What if I don't? Heart pounded so loud I could barely hear the storm. Another knock shattered the moment. Both our heads turned toward the door. Her face drained of color. He can't be here. I froze. You think it's him? She pressed her trembling hands against her chest. If it is, don't let him see me. The knocking grew louder, echoing through the room. I looked at her, drenched and shaking in my living room, and knew this night was only the beginning. Asterisk. Her heels clicked against my floor as she stepped deeper inside. She left a trail of water behind her, but she didn't care. She collapsed onto the couch, clutching her arms. I stood by the door, trying to steady my voice. That dinner? She looked up at me, eyes swollen. I couldn't do it. Do what? Smile. Pretend I'm happy. Pretend I want Oliver. Her words cut through me. I moved closer, but kept my distance. Then why are you marrying him? She shook her head, 'cause it's what everyone expects. My parents adore him. My friends think he's perfect. He checks every box. I clenched my jaw, except the one that matters. Her lips parted slightly, except the one that matters. I sat down across from her, gripping my knees. You left your own rehearsal dinner? Her voice dropped to a whisper. I walked out before dessert. Oh. He was making a toast, telling stories about how lucky he was to have me. Everyone laughed. Everyone clapped. And I felt like I couldn't breathe. I stared at her. So you came here to me? Her eyes filled again. I didn't plan it. My feet just brought me here. You can't say that to me, Amelia. She leaned forward, her dress still damp, her perfume hitting me like a wave. Of memories? Why not? Because it's cruel. You're about to marry someone else and you're sitting in my living room telling me you can't breathe without me. Her voice cracked. Do you think this is easy for me? I snapped. Back easy? You chose him? You sent me that invitation? Her hands shook as she reached for the purse beside her. She pulled out the card and held it up. I hated mailing this. I stared at your name on the envelope for hours before I dropped it in the box. I pushed it away. Then why did you send it at all? Tears slipped down her cheeks. Because part of me wanted you to stop me. My chest tightened. That's not fair, I know. The storm rattled the windows, but the silence inside was louder. I leaned forward, elbows on my knees. Tell me the truth, Amelia. You love him? She looked at me for a long moment, then whispered no. The single word hit harder than any confession. Then why are you with him? I demanded. Because he makes everything easy. He knows what to say, when to say it. He looks perfect on paper, and I thought I could make myself believe it was enough. And now she bit her lip. I'm sitting in front of you, realizing I never stopped loving you. I felt the air leave my lungs. I stood up pacing. You can't do this to me. Can't walk in here. Pour your heart out and expect. Me too just... What? Take you back? She rose too, closing the space between us. I don't expect anything. I just couldn't lie anymore. Her face was inches from mine, her breath shaky. Wanted to step back, but my feet stayed planted. I whispered, What do you want from me? Her hand brushed my arm, sending a shiver. Through me, I want to feel alive again. I grabbed her wrist gently and pulled her hand away. Amelia, you're engaged. This is dangerous. Her voice lowered. So was falling in love with you the first time. Searched her eyes, looking for hesitation, but all I saw was fire. If Oliver finds out you came here, he'll come. After me? She laughed bitterly. He won't. Oliver doesn't chase. He controls. That's worse. What do you mean? Her shoulders slumped. He doesn't yell. He doesn't fight. Makes decisions for me. Smiles while he does it. And everyone applauds. He tells me who to talk to, what to wear, where to go. When I push back, he kisses my forehead and says, You'll see I'm right. My stomach twisted, and you're about to marry that. She pressed a hand to her chest. I don't. Want to? Not anymore? Then leave him. Her eyes flickered with fear. It's not that simple. It is. Walk away. You don't understand. He's tied to my family, to everything I've built. Leaving him would ruin me. I shook my head. So you'd rather ruin yourself slowly instead? Her voice broke. That's why I'm here. Because I can't keep pretending. I thought maybe you could remind me who I was before him. Her words hit like lightning. I felt my guard crack. I whispered, You don't need me for that. Her eyes locked on mine. I do. The tension was unbearable. Her lips were so close, her dress clinging, her hands trembling as if she wanted to reach for me again. I forced myself to turn away. If you stay here tonight, you'll destroy me. She whispered behind me. Then maybe I should go. Words stabbed. I spun back toward her. Is that what you want? Her silence said everything. I stepped closer, my voice raw. Do you have any idea what you're doing to me right now? Her eyes glistened. You have any idea what you still do to me every single time I see you? I froze. My heart pounded so loud I swore she could hear it. Before I could speak, her phone buzzed on the couch. The sound shattered the moment. She glanced at the screen and shoved the phone face down. I caught the name before it disappeared. Oliver. I clenched my fists. Answer it. She shook her head. No. Answer it, Amelia. She grabbed the phone, her hand shaking. What do you want me to say? That I'm hiding at my ex's apartment instead of being by his side? Tell him something. Anything. Otherwise, he'll know something's wrong. She stared at me, tears threatening again. What if he already does? Her phone buzzed again, louder this time. Vibration filled the room like a warning. I whispered, pick it up, or he'll come looking. She pressed the phone to her ear, her voice breaking as she said, hello. I held my breath, watching her face drain of color. Oliver, she said, her voice shaking. I needed air. I'll be home soon. Her hand trembled as she hung up. She turned to me, pale and shaken. He didn't believe me. My stomach dropped. How do you know? Her voice was barely audible, because he said he'd see me sooner than I think. The storm roared outside, but inside, I felt the temperature plummet. The silence after her phone call hung heavy. She sat on the edge of the couch, clutching her knees like she was bracing for impact. I broke it. What aren't you telling me about him? Her head snapped up. What do you mean? You're terrified. I can see it in your face. What has he done? Her lips pressed tight. You wouldn't believe me. Try me. She hesitated, then whispered, Oliver isn't the man everyone thinks he is. I stepped closer. Then who is? He. Her eyes darted to the window like she expected him to appear. He's charming in public, polished in every room, the perfect son-in-law. But when it's just us, he treats me like property. The words hit me like a punch. Property. Her voice cracked. He tells me what to wear, where to stand, when to smile. If I question him, he tilts his head and laughs like I'm being childish. And when I argue, he lowers his voice so no one hears, and he says, Don't embarrass me again. Anger flared in my chest. And you still plan to marry him? She shook her head. I don't plan to. I feel trapped. My parents invested in his company. My friends worship him. If I walk away, I lose everything. I crouched in front of her, then lose it. It's better that than losing yourself. Her eyes filled with tears. You make it sound so easy. But every night I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering what my life will look like if I stay. I cry myself to sleep because I already know the answer. I reached out before I could stop myself, Amelia. Bird. Her hand trembled as it found mine. The contact sent a fire racing through me, burning past every wall I'd built. She whispered, You were always the only one who saw me. Not the daughter, not the trophy, not the prize, just me. My throat tightened. You left me. Her grip on my hand tightened. I thought I was choosing security. I thought I was protecting myself from heartbreak, but I was wrong. Been dying inside ever since. I pulled my hand back, pacing. Do you realize what you're doing right now? You're standing in my home, engaged to another man, and confessing that you still want me? She rose to her feet. Because it's true. I can't lie to you anymore. Why now? I demanded. Wait. Why the night of your rehearsal dinner? Why wait until I've almost convinced myself to forget you? Her voice shook, because tonight I looked at him and I realized I couldn't. Picture a life where I never saw you again. The storm outside rattled the glass, but her words drowned out everything. I stepped closer. So what do you want from me? She didn't move back. I want you to remind me what it feels like to be alive. I swallowed hard. And what if I can't? Her eyes softened. You already are. Ow. Her hand brushed my arm again, deliberately. This time, the heat of it made my pulse race. I whispered, This is wrong. Then stop me, she challenged. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I felt caught between the gravity of her eyes and the memory of every night we once spent, tangled in laughter and whispers. Finally, I forced the words out. "You need to leave before this goes too far." Her expression shattered. "Is that what you really want?" I hesitated. "It doesn't matter what I want. You're not mine anymore." Her voice dropped to a fragile whisper. "Then why does it feel like I am?" My chest ached. I turned away, gripping the back of a chair. "Because you're standing here instead of being with him." Her footsteps creaked closer behind me. "Because I never stopped loving you." I closed my eyes, fighting the pull of her voice. "Amelia, if Oliver finds out," she cut me off, her tone fierce. "I don't care about Oliver. Not tonight." I spun around, meeting her gaze. "But I do. I care about what happens when this night ends, because I know you. You'll wake up tomorrow and decide it was a mistake, and I'll be left shattered all over again." Her lips trembled. "Do you really think I'd risk everything just to play with you?" I stared into her eyes, searching for doubt, but found none. "I don't know what to believe anymore." Her voice softened. "Believe this." She placed my hand against her chest. Her heart pounded beneath my palm. "Every time I'm with him, I feel nothing. Every time I'm with you, I feel everything." I pulled my hand back like it burned. "You're going to destroy both of us." Tears slid down her cheeks. "I'd let me burn with you, because I can't survive this numbness anymore." The room went silent again, broken only by the storm outside. I felt her words settle into me, heavy and unshakable. Before I could respond, her phone lit up again on the couch. Screen glowed with his name. "Oliver." She stared at it, frozen. I whispered, "If you don't answer, he'll come looking." Her hand hovered over the phone. "If I do, I'll have to lie again." "Then lie." Her eyes filled with fear. "You don't understand. He knows. He always knows." The phone buzzed a second time, vibrating across the table, louder and longer. I locked eyes with her. "Pick it up, Amelia." She shook her head, whispering, "I can't." The vibration stopped. The silence that followed was worse than the sound. I swallowed hard. "Then what happens now?" She met my gaze, her voice steady for the first time all night. "Now we wait for the storm to find us." The rain hammered the windows, but the room felt even louder with her silence. She curled her legs under her on the couch, her dress shimmering faintly under the soft light. I poured us both another glass of wine, trying to keep my hands steady. I broke the silence. "You shouldn't be here." Her eyes lifted. "And why haven't you asked me to leave?" I took a sip of wine. "Because I don't want you to." Her lips curved faintly. "Then stop pretending you do." I shook my head. "This is dangerous." She leaned back against the cushions. "So is living a life that feels like a cage." Storm rattled the walls. My voice lowered. "You're marrying him tomorrow?" Her eyes locked on mine. "Do you really think I'm here to celebrate that?" I swallowed hard. "So why are you here?" Her hand slid along the stem of her glass. "Because I wanted to remember what it felt like to breathe." I set my glass down. "You're playing with fire. Maybe I want to burn." Her words left a sting in the air. I tried to redirect. "You used to say I made you laugh when the world was falling apart." She smiled faintly. "You still do." I exhaled sharply. "Don't say that. Why not?" "Because it makes me remember." Her eyes softened. "Then remember with me." The thunder rolled outside, shaking the room. I poured more wine, though I barely tasted it. "We can't do this." She shifted closer. "We're not doing anything. We're just sitting here, talking." Her shoulder brushed mine. The contact sent a rush through me. Talking never felt this dangerous. She tilted her head, teasing. "Maybe you've forgotten how to talk." To me, I met her eyes. I never forgot. Her laughter broke out, soft and sudden. God, I needed that. I can't remember the last time I laughed without forcing it. I couldn't stop staring at her. "You look alive again when you laugh." Her expression turned serious. "I feel alive when I'm here." I ran my hand through my hair. "Amelia, don't do this." She leaned closer, her voice a whisper. "Do what?" "You know what?" She rested her head lightly against my shoulder. "I don't care anymore. I just want to feel something real." I froze, every muscle tense. If I let this happen, there's no going back. Her dress brushed against my arm, her warmth seeping into me. Maybe I don't want to go back. I clench my fists, trying to anchor myself. You're breaking me. She lifted her head, eyes searching mine. And you're breaking me by pretending you don't want this. I stood abruptly, pacing. I can't betray myself again. She watched me, her voice shaking. Me ask you one question. Do you still love me? My chest tightened. You don't get to ask that. Answer me. Turned to face her. Yes, I never stopped. Her eyes glistened. Then why are you fighting it? Because you belong to someone else. Her voice rose. I don't belong to him. I belong to myself. And right now I'm choosing you. The words knocked the air out of me. I sank back onto the couch, staring at her. Do you have any idea what you're saying? She leaned forward. I've spent every night convincing myself that walking away from you was the right choice. And every morning, I wake up emptier. If I go through with tomorrow, I'll never forgive myself. But if I stay here tonight, at least I'll know I tried to feel alive one more time. Her honesty tore through me. And what happens when he finds out? She whispered. Then he finds out. Maybe that's what it takes to end this lie. Storm cracked outside, lightning illuminating her face. I whispered, You're going to ruin everything. Her lips parted. Or save it. I leaned in before I could stop myself. Amelia. Her voice was barely a breath. Say my name like that again. Amelia. Amelia. Her eyes fluttered shut, her lips inches from mine. I've missed the way. You say it. My heart raced. I shouldn't. Then don't think. Just feel. Her breath mingled with mine, the space between us shrinking. My hand lifted on its own, brushing against her cheek. She didn't pull away. Instead, she leaned into it, her skin warm against my palm. Tell me this isn't real, she whispered. I couldn't. My voice caught. It's real. She tilted closer. Then don't let me go. The heat between us thickened, unbearable. Every part of me screamed to close the distance. Her lips hovered so close I could taste the wine on her breath, and then the sharp buzz of her phone shattered the moment. We both froze. The name glowed on the screen, cutting through the dark like a blade dot. Oliver, her hand shook as she reached for the phone. I grabbed her wrist gently. Don't. Her voice broke. If I don't, he'll know something's wrong. My chest pounded. If you do, he'll still know, because your voice won't hide this. The phone buzzed again, louder this time. She stared at it, then at me, her lips trembling. What do? I whispered. Choose. Her phone stopped buzzing, but the silence it left behind hit harder. She slid it face down on the table, the screen black again. That's when I saw the diamond on her finger catching the light, sharp and cold. My chest tightened. I pointed. At it? You're wearing his promise while you sit here with me. Her hand curled into a fist. Don't remind me. How can I not? It's right there. She pulled her hand back. Doesn't mean what you think it does. I laughed bitterly. It means you said yes. Her eyes glistened. I said, yes, because I didn't know how to say no. I leaned forward, anger rising. You didn't know how, or you didn't want to. She covered her face with her hands. I can't do this right now. I grabbed her wrists gently and lowered her. Hands, you already are. You're here. You're not with him. Her voice cracked. And that makes me the worst kind of person. I searched her face. It makes you honest for once. She shook her head. Honest would have been not saying yes at all. I pressed harder. Then why did you tell me? Her shoulders trembled. Because he makes life easy. Has the right job, the right family, the right expectations. Everyone thinks he's perfect. And sometimes it feels easier to go along than to keep disappointing everyone. I swallowed hard. So I'm the disappointment. Her eyes snapped to mine. You're the only thing that ever felt real. The words landed heavy between us. I wanted to believe her, but the ring still shone in my mind. I muttered, real doesn't come with diamonds. She whispered back, real comes with scars. And you're the only one who knows mine. I stood and paced the room, running my hands through my hair. You can't just use me to remember who you are when it's convenient. She rose too, her her voice shaking. Do you think this is easy for me? Do you think I don't wake up every day wondering if I'm destroying my life? I snapped, then stopped wondering and choose. Tears streamed down her cheeks. It's not that simple. It is. You either want him or you want me. Her lips trembled. I want to stop hurting. I'm supposed to be. Your cure? She stepped closer, her voice barely above a whisper. You're the only thing that makes the pain fade. Her words tore at me. And when you leave here tomorrow with that ring still on your finger, what am I then? Her hands shook as she grabbed mine. I don't know. But I came here tonight because I couldn't carry this alone anymore. I held her gaze. So I'm your escape. She shook her head fiercely. No, you're the reason I can't stay in the lie any longer. I searched her eyes, trying to find the truth. Do you even know what you want? Her voice broke. I know I want to feel like myself again. And with you, I do. The storm outside roared, the wind rattling the windows. Inside, everything narrowed to her hands gripping mine, her eyes begging me not to pull away. I whispered, You're tearing me apart. She pressed her forehead to mine, then let me break with you. I closed my eyes, fighting every instinct. You're asking me to believe that ring means nothing? Her breath trembled against my skin. It means nothing compared to this. I pulled back, staring at her. Do you hear yourself? You're engaged? You stood in front of your family, your friends, and promised him forever. She bit her lip. Forever feels like a prison when it isn't with you. Her words cut deeper than I wanted to admit. I turned away, trying to breathe. If you walk out tomorrow wearing that ring, I can't do this again. I won't. She caught my arm. Then tell me what to do. Tell me to take it off. I faced her, fire burning in my chest. It's not my decision. It's yours. Her hand trembled as it hovered over the diamond. She whispered, What if I'm not strong enough? I grabbed her hand, steadying it. Then you'll keep living someone else's life. Her tears spilled freely now. I hate him for making me feel safe. I hate myself for craving danger with you. I shook my head. Don't call this danger. She held my face in her palms. Then what is it? My voice cracked. It's the only thing I've ever wanted. Her lips parted, so close I could feel her breath. And why are you still fighting it? Because if I let myself have you again, I may never let you go. Her fingers traced the line of my jaw. Maybe that's what I want. My pulse raced, every barrier crumbling. Amelia, if you mean that, take it off, right now, prove it. She looked down at her hand, the diamond catching the light again. She gripped the ring, twisting it slowly, her breathing uneven, her voice shook. I'm scared, I whispered. So am I. She froze, the ring halfway off. Then she pulled her hand back, clutching it tight against her chest. My stomach dropped. You can't even let it go for one night, she sobbed. I came here because I didn't know what else to do. I thought maybe if I could just be with you for one night, I'd find the strength. I turned away, my voice sharp. One night won't change who you're marrying. She stepped forward, desperate. It would change me. Her words lingered in the air, heavy, trembling, raw. Faced her again, torn between fury and longing. I hissed, You don't need one night. But you need to decide who you are, she whispered back. Then help me decide. Her hands gripped my shirt, pulling me closer. Her tears stained the fabric, but her lips hovered just a breath away. The storm outside pounded, matching the storm in my chest. And then, the diamond still on her finger, she whispered the words I wasn't ready for. I don't know if I can marry him. Everything inside me shattered. Didn't know if I wanted to scream at her or kiss her, or thank her for finally telling me the truth. I cupped her face, searching for something real in her eyes. Then say it louder. Say it to yourself too. Him, to everyone. Because until you do, we're both trapped. She trembled in my arms, caught between two lives. And for the first time tonight, I realized I might not just be her escape. I might be her choice. The storm outside hadn't stopped. Rain kept hammering against the glass while she sat across from me, her hands clenched tight in her lap. I waited, but the silence pressed heavier than the thunder. Finally I said, "You're holding something." Back. Her eyes lifted to mine, red from crying. "You really want the past, don't you?" I leaned forward. "I want the truth." She exhaled sharply. "The night I left you, I told myself it was for the best. You'd never forgive. The things I did to keep my family happy. But that wasn't it." My jaw tightened. Then what was it? Her fingers twisted the ring on her hand. It was Oliver. He showed up when you and I were barely holding it together. He looked safe, predictable, the opposite of you. My parents loved him. My friends trusted him. Thought maybe stability was better than fire. I felt heat rise in my chest. "So I was the mistake you corrected." She shook her head fast. "No, you were the part of me I was afraid to keep." My fists clenched. "And Oliver was what? A way to erase me?" Voice broke. He was a way to silence the chaos. "But silence isn't love." I pushed back in my chair. "You don't get to rewrite history now." She stood, frustration burning in her voice. "I'm not rewriting anything. I'm admitting I lied to both of us. I told him I was over you. I told myself I was over you. But every time he touched me, I felt the ghost of you in the room." Her words cut deep. "You're engaged to the man, Amelia?" She stepped closer. "And I can't stop thinking about the night I left you crying on the stairs. The way you called after me and I kept walking." The memory slammed back raw and ugly. "You broke me that night." Her lips trembled. "And I've been breaking myself ever since." I stood, my voice sharp. "Then why are you still wearing his ring?" Her hand shook as she held it up. "Because I don't know how to face the fallout. Oliver isn't who everyone thinks he is. If I take this off, it won't just be an engagement ending, it'll be war." I froze. "What are you saying?" Her eyes darted to the floor. "Isn't perfect. He knows how to play the part, but behind closed doors, he's different." My stomach twisted. Different how? She swallowed hard, controlling. Subtle at first, then sharper. The way he comments on what I wear. Who? I see how I smile. It's like he's shaping me into someone I don't recognize. Anger surged through me, and you stayed with him anyway. Tears welled again, because everyone kept telling me how lucky I was, how good I had it. Well, part of me thought maybe I should just accept it. Maybe love wasn't supposed to feel like freedom. Maybe it was supposed to feel like safety. I shook my head. "That's not safety. That's a cage." Her voice cracked. "And you were the door I slammed shut so I wouldn't have to admit it." I paced, heart pounding. "If Oliver finds out you're here, it won't just be war for you. It'll be for me too." Her eyes locked on mine. "Do you think I don't know that? Do you think I'm not terrified he'll show up here right now?" I stepped closer. "Then why are you still here?" Her whisper hit like fire. "Because even in the fear, I've never felt more alive than I do with you." I grabbed her shoulders, searching her face. "You can't keep saying that and then running back to him." She clutched my shirt. "I don't want to run anymore." The storm outside rattled the window. My voice dropped. "Then what do you want?" Her lips parted, her breath trembling. "I want to remember the way you made me feel before I ruined everything." I closed my eyes, fighting the pull. Those memories cut me open every time. She pressed her forehead to mine. "Then let them cut us both, because I can't pretend they don't exist." I pulled back, my chest tight. "You left me without looking back. You chose him." Her tears slipped down her face. I've regretted it every day since. The words burned, because part of me wanted to believe her, and part of me wanted to scream. Regret doesn't change the fact that you're his. Gripped my face in her hands. "I'm not his, not where it matters." My voice rose. "Then prove it." Her hand hovered at the ring again, trembling. She twisted it slowly, but stopped halfway. "I'm scared," she whispered. I stared at her. "Of him or of us?" "Both," she admitted. The confession twisted inside me. "If Oliver finds out, he'll come for me. And you know it." Her voice dropped low. "He already suspects. That's why I had to come tonight." He looks at me. Like he knows I'm hiding something. My stomach dropped. "Then you're putting me in his line of fire?" Her hands tightened on me. I'd rather burn with you than rot with him. Her words set everything ablaze. I kissed her forehead, my voice breaking. You can't keep splitting yourself in two. She pulled me closer, whispering against my ear. Then helped me put the pieces back together, pressed my forehead. To hers again? If I help you, there's no going back. Oliver will never forgive it. Her lips brushed mine, trembling. And let him hate me. Let him hate us both. I can live with that. What I can't live with is pretending anymore. The thunder roared, the lights flickered, and I realized the storm outside had nothing on the one inside this room. She wasn't just a girl with a diamond ring and a guilty conscience. She was a fuse already lit, and I was the one standing closest when it would explode, and yet, even knowing the fallout, I couldn't let her go. The rain hadn't stopped. The storm still cracked across the sky, while she sat on the edge of my couch, twisting her fingers, eyes locked on me. Her voice broke the silence. Can I stay here tonight? I froze. What did you just say? Looked at me, her expression raw. Just one night. I need to breathe. I can't go back there right now. My chest tightened. Amelia, do you even hear yourself? You're engaged. You're asking me to be part of your betrayal. Her shoulders shook. I don't care how it sounds. I can't sleep in his bed tonight. Not after everything I told you. Not after admitting what he's really like. I stood, pacing. If Oliver finds out, I'm done. You're done. This isn't just risky, it's suicide. She rose, stepping closer. So what do you want me to do? Pretend I'm fine? Smile? At him while I die inside? Her eyes searched mine, desperate. Please, just tonight. No promises, no labels. Just a place where I can exist without pretending. I pressed my hands into my hair, fighting the pull. If I say yes, we both cross a line we can't come back from. She whispered, if you say no, you'll lose me. Her words sliced through me. I swallowed hard. Where would you even sleep? Her lips curved faintly. You have a bed, don't you? I laughed bitterly. You think this is funny? She shook her head. No, it's tragic, but it's real. I stared at her, torn between anger and longing. Fine. One night. But you're not staying because of me. You're staying because you need to breathe. Her voice softened. Thank you. She disappeared into the bathroom with one of my old shirts. The sound of running water filled the silence, and I sat on the edge of the bed, heart racing. When she stepped out, my shirt hung loose on her frame, brushing her thighs. The sight made my chest ache. She caught me staring. What? Shook. My head quickly. Nothing. Just seeing you like that again. Her eyes darkened. Does it bother you? I forced my voice steady. Destroys me. She climbed into the bed, pulling the blanket to her chin. Then don't look. Lay on the other side, my back turned, fists clenched. The mattress dipped with her weight, the air heavy with unsaid words. Minutes dragged like hours. The silence was louder than any confession. Finally, she whispered, Do you think I'm a coward? I stared at the wall. I think you're trapped. She shifted closer, her breath brushing my neck. And you're the only place I feel free. I shut my eyes tight. Don't do this. Her hand hovered above my arm, trembling. I'm not touching you, I'm just telling you the truth. My voice broke. Your truth is killing me. She rolled onto her back. And what do you want from me? I turned, meeting her eyes in. The dark. I want you to stop tearing me in two. Her lips parted. I can't, because I don't know how to let you go. The storm roared outside, but nothing was louder than the pounding of my heart. We stayed like that, eyes locked, words spilling too heavy to hold. Yet we didn't move. Not an inch. The night stretched long, filled with stolen glances and shallow breaths. I counted every second until light began to press against the curtains. Then came the knock, sharp, demanding my blood ran cold. Amelia sat up, clutching the blanket. Who is it? I didn't answer. The knock came again, harder this time. Her face drained of color. It's him. I stood, frozen in place, every nerve on fire. How the hell would he know you're here? She shook her head. I don't know. He watches me. He tracks me. He knows more than I think. The knock turned into a voice. Calm, polished, too polite to be safe. Open the door, Daniel. It's Oliver. Hearing my name in his mouth made my stomach twist. Amelia gripped my arm. Ow. Don't let him in. I hissed. If I don't heal. Only push harder, she whispered, terrified. Then lie. Say I'm not here. The knock came again, sharper, louder. I know she's inside, Oliver called. Let me in before I make this messy. Amelia's nails dug into my skin. Please. I looked at the door, heart pounding so hard it hurt. If I open that door, everything explodes, she whispered. It already has. The silence before my next step felt like a blade against my throat. I reached for the handle, every muscle screaming at me to stop. When I pulled it open, Oliver stood there. Perfect suit. Perfect smile. But his eyes cold, sharp, unreadable, mourning. He said smoothly, Mind if I come in? Oliver leaned casually against the doorframe, a smile tugging at his mouth, though his eyes carried something sharper. Long night, Daniel? He asked smoothly. I steadied my voice. What do you want? He tilted his head. My fiancée. She left early last night, didn't answer her phone. Psst, imagine my surprise when her car wasn't in the driveway. I thought maybe she came here, behind me. The floor creaked. Amelia froze, caught in the glow of the morning light spilling across the room. Her hair was tousled, my shirt draped over her shoulders. Oliver's smile widened. Well, that answers my question. Amelia's hand shot out, clutching my arm. Her fingers trembled, but she didn't let go. I stepped forward, blocking his view. She's not your property. Oliver's gaze cut to me like a blade. Step aside. I didn't move. She doesn't want to go with you, his laugh was. Quiet, almost amused. You think this is about what she wants? Amelia's voice cracked behind me. Stop talking like I'm not here. Oliver's smile tightened. Then explain. Why are you standing in another man's apartment wearing his shirt? She took a shaky breath. Because I needed space from you. Because you don't listen. Because every word out of your mouth feels like control. His jaw flexed, but his tone stayed cool. Control. I call it love. But maybe you've forgotten what that looks like, I snapped. That's not love. That's possession. He looked me up and down, unbothered. And what are you, Daniel? Her savior? You think giving her one night in your bed makes you a better man? Amelia flinched. Nothing happened. Oliver's voice dropped lower. Not yet. The tension burned through the room. Amelia's grip on my arm tightened, and Oliver's eyes landed on it. His mask cracked for the first time. Move your hand, he ordered. Amelia didn't. I leaned closer to him, my voice firm. You should leave. He smirked, though the edges of it faltered. You're bold, I'll give you that. But you don't understand the game you're playing. I kept my stare locked on him. Then explain it to me. He leaned in, his breath cold. I know her better than you ever will. I know the way she breaks, the way she bends, and the way she crawls back every time. Amelia's voice shook with fury. Not this time. His eyes flashed. Careful. Stepped closer, toe to toe. With him, you heard her. The silence between us stretched, heavy and dangerous. Finally, Oliver's smile returned, sharp and thin. Enjoy your moment, Daniel. But remember, daylight doesn't last. And when the dark comes back, she'll remember who she belongs to, Amelia whispered. I don't belong to anyone. Oliver's mask cracked again, a flicker of rage burning through. He caught himself, straightened his suit, and smoothed his tie like the control was back in his hands. Fine, he said softly. Stay here. Play house. Pretend he can protect you. But when you realize the world doesn't bend to your fantasies, I'll be waiting. He stepped back toward the door, his eyes drilling into mine. And Daniel, you've just made yourself. My problem? He left without slamming the door. The quiet click somehow louder than a gunshot. Amelia collapsed onto the edge of the bed, her breath shuddering. He knows. I'll never let this go. I sat beside her, my pulse still racing. Then we don't give him the chance. She looked at me, tears brimming. What are you saying? I swallowed hard. I'm saying if you want out, really out, I'll stay in with you. But you can't keep living in between. Her hand touched my face, gentle, uncertain. And if I choose you, what happens when he comes for us? I caught her hand in mine. Then he learns I'm not afraid of him. Her lips parted like she wanted to speak but couldn't. The morning light washed over her face. For the first time, I saw both her fear and her hope colliding. She whispered, "This will destroy us." I leaned closer, my voice steady. "It will finally set you free." The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was alive, trembling with every unspoken promise, every dangerous possibility. The triangle was no longer hidden. It was laid bare, sharp and bleeding in the morning light. The church buzzed with whispers as I pushed open the heavy doors. Flowers lined the aisles, and the air carried that suffocating mix of perfume and expectation. I caught the stares immediately. Guests turned their heads, voices dropping into quick murmurs. "Why is he here?" someone hissed. "Isn't that Daniel?" another whispered. I ignored them, my eyes scanning every corner. She wasn't at the altar. She wasn't at the back. Amelia was gone. Oliver stood near the priest, his tuck sharp, his jaw tight. He saw me, and his smile twisted. "Well," he said loud enough for the room to hear, "look who decided to bless us with his presence." I stepped forward. "Where is she?" He tilted his head, pretending calm. "My bride is preparing. You know how women are." The crowd chuckled nervously, clinging to his charm, but I caught the flicker in his eyes. "He didn't know where she was." "Oliver," I pressed, "tell me the truth." His voice dropped sharp as glass. "This is my wedding, not your stage. Leave." I shook my head. "Not until I see her." The whispers grew louder. A woman in the front row leaned toward her husband. "Is it true? Did she run?" Oliver straightened, his smile strained. "Shh. She will walk down that aisle. She loves me." The doors at the back slammed open. Gasps rippled through the church as Amelia appeared. Her dress shimmered in the stained glass light. But her face wasn't glowing with joy. Her eyes were red, her chest heaving. She walked fast, not toward the altar, not toward me, but straight. "Down the middle, Amelia," Oliver called, his voice cracking. Come here." She didn't slow. I stepped into the aisle, my heart pounding. "Amelia, talk to me." Her eyes met mine for a fleeting second, burning with something fierce. "Daniel, move." My throat tightened. "If you're running, run to me." Tears welled in her eyes, but she shook her head. "I can't. Not to you. Not to him. To myself." The church erupted with gasps, voices colliding in shock. Oliver's mask shattered. "You selfish little liar," he snarled, forgetting the crowd. "After everything, you humiliate me in front of my family, my friends, my world." Amelia stopped at the end of the aisle, turned, and faced him head on. "This isn't your world. It's mine, and I'm done letting you own it." Stepped down from the altar, rage twisting his perfect image. "You think they'll respect you after this? They'll laugh. They'll call you weak." She lifted her chin. "I'd rather be weak and free than strong in your cage." Every eye turned to me as Oliver stormed closer, his finger jabbed toward my chest. "This is your fault. You poisoned her." I forced myself not to flinch. "She made her choice," his voice thundered. "She made nothing without you whispering in her ear." Amelia cut in, her voice steady for the first time. "Stop blaming him. Stop blaming everyone. The truth is, I never wanted this wedding. I wanted out, and neither of you would let me breathe." The room went dead silent. Families shifted in, their seats, the weight of her words crashing down on them. She looked at me, and for a second I thought she'd change her mind. I thought she'd cross the aisle and collapse into my arms. But instead, her voice broke the last piece of me. "I love you, Daniel. But if I run to you, I'll only trade one prison for another. I need to be alone. I need to find myself without anyone else's chains." The words hit harder than any fist. My chest burned, but I forced myself to nod. "If that's what you need, I won't stop you." Her lips trembled, but relief washed across her face. She turned, lifted her dress, and walked out of the church. With her head high, the doors slammed behind her, echoing like a final goodbye. Oliver stood frozen, his fists clenched, his pride in ruins. Guests whispered louder now, no longer afraid. She left him. She chose no one. What a scandal. Oliver's face drained of color. You think this makes you a winner? He hissed at me. I shook my head. No, it makes her free. Shoved past me, storming out another exit. Unwilling to face the humiliation, the priest cleared his throat, but no one listened. The wedding was over. I walked slowly toward the altar, my footsteps heavy. Every guest stared, but their judgment meant nothing. The only thing that mattered had already walked out. At the front pew, I sat down, my hands shaking. For the first time since this began, I felt something strange in my chest. Heartbreak. Yes. But also clarity. I whispered to myself. Too low for anyone else to hear. She chose herself. Maybe that's the only choice that ever mattered. Music never played. The vows were never spoken. The wedding that was supposed to bind her forever became the moment she broke free, and as much as it tore me apart, I couldn't help but admire her for it.